out of coffee. All right. This is chapter 19. Assassins. The Judeo-Shia sect of the Assassins, or Hashisms, was founded in 1090 by Hassan Saba, a Persian who had been initiated into Ishmaelism at Cairo in the household of the Fatimite Caliph Al-Monastir. He was known as the Old Man, or rather the Lord of the Mountain. His influence in Egypt having excited the envy of many, he was sent into exile. Caliph Al-Mustanasir's vizier was a Jew named Abu Mansur Sadiqa ibn Yusuf, under whose protection Hassan traversed Persia as a missionary, preaching and making proselytes, and having seized the fortress of Almut on the borders of Iraq and Dilim, which he called the House of Fortune. He there established his rule. The history of his time is full of his name. Kings in the very center of Europe trembled at it. His powerful arm reached everywhere. According to Hecklethorn, he reduced the 9 degrees, into which the adherents of the Lodge of Cairo were divided, to 7, placing himself at the head with title of Sedenia and Sayenda or Sidna, whence the Spanish Cid and the Italian Signor. The term assassins is a corruption of Hashism, derived from hashish, Indian hemp, with which the chief intoxicated his followers when they entered on some desperate enterprise. To regulate the 7 degrees, he composed the Catechism of the Order. The first degree recommended to the ministry attentively to wit. What? Damn, I'm messing this one up. Sorry. Happens sometimes. The first degree recommended to the missionary attentively to watch the disposition of the candidate before admitting him to the order. The second impressed it upon him to gain the confidence of the candidate by flattering his inclinations and passions. The third to involve him in doubts and difficulties by showing him the absurdity of the Koran. The fourth to exact from him some solemn oath of fidelity and obedience, with a promise to lay his doubts before his instructor, and the fifth to show him that the most famous men of church and state belonged to the secret order. The sixth called confirmation, enjoined on the instructor to examine the proselyte concerning the whole preceding course, and firmly to establish him in it. The seventh finally called the exposition of the allegory, gave the keys of the sect. The following were divided into 2 great hosts, self-sacrificers and aspirants. The first, despising fatigues, dangers, and tortures, joyfully gave their lives whenever it pleased the master, who required them each either to protect himself or to carry out his mandates of death. According to the legend, the man selected by the Lord to perform the dangerous exploit was first made drunk, and in this state carried into a beautiful valley where he was on waking, surrounded by lovely sylph-like women who made him believe he was in Elysium. But ere he wearied or became satiated with love and wine, he was once more made drunk, and in this state carried back to his own home. When his services were required, he was again sent for by the Lord, who told him that he had once permitted him to enjoy paradise, and if he would do his bidding, he could luxuriate in the same delights for the rest of his life. The dupe, believing that his master had the power to do all this, was ready to commit whatever crime was required of him. Several Christian princes were suspected of conniving at the deeds of the assassin. Richard of England is one of them, and it has been the loyal task of English writers to free him from the charge of having instigated the murder of Conrad Montferrat. There also existed for a long time a rumor that Richard had attempted the life of the King of France through Hassan and his assassins. The nephew of Barbarossa, Frederick II, was excommunicated by Innocent II for having caused the Duke of Bavaria to be slain by the assassins, and Frederick II, in a letter to the King of Bohemia, accuses the Duke of Australia of having, by similar agents, attempted his life. The corruption of the Order of the Templars, which brought about its downfall, has been imputed by most historians to this sect, which was suppressed in 1256 when the Mongolians, led by Prince Helagu, attacked and overthrew them.